Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Chaliye, fatafat, let's start reading the first paragraph.
Good morning,
Quickly.
ma'am.
Good morning, dear. Let's start reading the first paragraph. After this, we'll be left with only one topic in this chapter,
Good
immunity.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, good morning. Immunity and that structure diagram that we have. Only one topic would be left after this. That is no doubt important. The diagram is also very important. So let's do this
Ma'am,
quickly. On Monday, we'll do that topic.
ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I was not able to attend for 2 3 days, ma'am, because I was not feeling well.
Okay. Now you're feeling okay?
Yes, ma'am, a little bit.
This weather is changing now. Many people they are
Yes,
suffering.
yes,
Hurry
ma'am.
up, hurry up. This is one topic and then
Yes, ma'am.
only one topic would be left after this. We will be finalizing your date sheet also for exams. Beta, I showed you and I discussed with you both the biology sample paper and the English sample paper, which is issued by CBSE. So, biology also, I told you what are the major changes which have come from the previous years, and English also, I showed you and I discussed with you in the class what are the major changes which have come. Now, we need to wait for the second sample paper for more changes to be known. But
Ma'am,
whatever change,
when did you discuss, ma'am, yesterday or day before yesterday, ma'am? I will see the recording.
you don't remember, these children will only tell. When did we discuss children, yesterday or day before yesterday? Who else is there? They keep joining late now. Saransh, Utkarsh. Utkarsh, when did we discuss the paper? The board paper, sample paper. When did we discuss?
Ma'am,
Yesterday?
ma'am, yesterday.
Yesterday only. English paper
Okay, ma'am.
also? English paper I did day before yesterday. Biology paper I did yesterday. So we know that there are what changes now. How many differences in one word answers, how many MCQs shifted, all these kind of questions. I had shown you that there is a difference in the pattern beta. So prepare accordingly. Let's read very quickly because we have to finish and then we have one more topic left in this. The next topic would be very important. We will have a diagram also. This you've already done. Adolescence is what? Period between 12 to 18 years. Bridging the childhood and adulthood. That means it is a time between the childhood and adulthood, connecting the
Adulthood.
phases. It is a very vulnerable phase. Vulnerable means when you easily get affected by something. Vulnerable phase of mental and psychological development of an individual. In this age, use of drugs or alcohol occurs out of curiosity or experimentation. So, what are the two causes why youth generally goes for drugs or alcohol? Then the two reasons over here:
Curiosity
curiosity and
and
Curiosity,
experimentation.
ma'am.
experimenting.
Yesterday,
Experimentation.
yesterday when you saw the sample paper, I told you that earlier we had only 6 one-word answers questions. You saw in the first pattern only we had 12, and then more and more one words related to. and the comprehension passage type of questions were there. You remember yesterday I showed you in that comprehension passage questions also, they were related questions of this kinds only, all 1 markers. So we need to be very careful with these kind of words. Drugs and alcohol when taken for the purpose other than medicine or taken in amounts of frequencies that disturbs the physical, psychological and physiological functions is what we call as drug abuse and alcohol abuse. So there are 2 parts of drug abuse or alcohol abuse. Number 1, if somebody is taking the drug for a reason other than medicine, number 1. Okay, it is not a medicine prescribed by some practitioner or something. It is simply that a person is taking it for a reason other than medicine. And second, he is taking the amount in such a frequency, or the amount is so high that it is going to disturb the 3 functions of the body: physical, physiological and psychological. So when we define, we'll add up all these things. Drugs and alcohol when taken for what? When taken for purpose other than what?
Medicine.
Other than
Medicine.
medicine. Or if it is taken in a higher amount, which is going to disturb which 3 functions of the body?
Physical, physiological and psychological.
Mental or
So we'll discuss about this later at the last, but remember when I talk about the definition of drug abuse, then these 2 points have to be covered. 1, it is taken other than the purpose of medicine, and second, it is taken in a higher amount that it is going to disturb these functions. Now we come to drugs. Okay, we'll certainly have some questions from here. The sources of drugs are mainly flowering plants and some fungi. Basically flowering plants. Let's have the categories of drugs now. The first category of drugs that we are going to do is opioids. The other name is opiates. So what is the other name of opioids?
Opiates.
Yes.
then
They are
ganja.
the drugs. They are the drugs that bind to specific opioid receptors present in our central nervous system and the gastrointestinal tract. Again, something important to learn. Okay, where do we have opioid receptors in the human body? Number 1 is your CNS, and second is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
gastrointestinal tract. So very quickly tell me where in 2 places in the human body we find the opioid
Yes,
receptors.
CNS and
Intestinal
gastrointestinal
tract.
tract.
So they'll have what kind of effects? Narcotic, analgesic, sedative, and astringent effects. Let's do this word individually. I'll explain it to you. Heroin, which is commonly called as smack, is white, crystalline, odorless, and bitter compound. What is odorless?
Do
Ma'am,
not have any smell.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. It is obtained by acetylation of morphine. Okay, remember acetylation process in chemistry if you have done. It is obtained by acetylation of morphine, otherwise I'll explain, and is diacetyl morphine. Diacetyl morphine means how many acetyls?
Ma'am, 2.
Beta, two acetyl groups added to morphine. So this becomes diacetyl morphine, and this is what we call as commonly what we call as smack or heroin. Generally taken by snorting and injection, heroin slows down the body function as it is a depressant. What is snorting?
Then
Ma'am,
by
सूंघना.
nostrils.
हाँ,
मैं नाक से लेते
exactly.
हैं.
तो हमने शुरू में बोला था कि मेन सोर्स ऑफ ड्रग्स प्लांट्स होते हैं. सो हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू रिलेट दिस हेरोइन और स्मैक टू प्लांट्स? हमने एक ये जो बनाया, दिस इज डाइएसिटाइल मॉर्फिन. बट मॉर्फिन कहाँ से आया? एसिटाइल कंपाउंड्स तो एसिटाइल ग्रुप्स वर एडेड टू मॉर्फिन, बट मॉर्फिन तो नेचुरल प्रोडक्ट है. सो मॉर्फिन, ये प्लांट याद रखना है फॉर श्योर. अभी आई डिस्कस दी फर्स्ट चैप्टर का क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, तो आप देखोगे कि इसमें से कितने सारे क्वेश्चन आते हैं प्रीवियस बोर्ड्स में. Morphine is extracted from the latex of poppy plant, Papaver somniferum. You don't have to only learn the name of this plant, you also need to learn that this is the latex. ये चीज जरूर mention करना है. Morphine is extracted from the latex of poppy plant, commonly called as poppy, otherwise it is Papaver somniferum. It is an effective sedative and a painkiller used by the patients who underwent surgery. हमने शुरू में पढ़ा था, if we are using it for medicines, then we cannot say it's a drug intake. It is only if a person is taking it for a reason other than medicine. So here we generally, in very small amounts, when some patient undergoes surgery and after that the person is in severe pain, then the doctors give them this as a sedative. So we're going to read about opioids, and then I'll discuss about these words. I think you know about these words. What are narcotic?
Ma'am, drugs.
Narcotic.
मैम नार्कोटिक्स मैम होता है मैम वो निकोटीन आती है मैम जैसे कि
डिपार्टमेंट होता है मैम एक।
ड्रग्स टाइप होते हैं मैम ये। हाँ
बेसिकली जो
cigarette में होता
मेंटल
है।
नर्वस सिस्टम को इफेक्ट करता है वो सारी चीजें नारकोटिक्स कैटेगरी में आती है।
ma'am.
एनाल्जेसिक एनाल्जेसिक व्हाट इज एनाल्जेसिक? पेन रिलीवर।
जो मैम बॉडी को इफेक्ट करती है
पेन
कुछ ऐसे।
रिलीवर्स, ऑल पेन
Yeah, pain
रिलीवर्स आर
relief.
कॉल्ड एनाल्जेसिक्स। जितनी भी डिस्प्रिन विस्प्रिन मार्केट में अवेलेबल होती हैं, एस्प्रिन डिस्प्रिन, दे आर ऑल नोन एज एनाल्जेसिक्स बिकॉज दे आर पेन रिलीवर्स। सेडेटिव जिनसे नींद आती है, नशा आता है, सेडेटिव बेसिकली नींद आती है। एंड एस्ट्रिंजेंट इज हैविंग एंटी एलर्जिक प्रॉपर्टीज। तो ये सारी चीजें, ये सारी की सारी प्रॉपर्टीज यू फाइंड इन ओपियोइड्स. So 1 minute to read opioids, then questions based on opioids. Your time starts now. You're going to read about opioids. Let me explain the structure also to you after this. Hurry up. We are doing categories of drugs, beta.
Done मैम।
Done, ma'am.
Okay, beta. Now we will all see the structure and understand a bit about it. Please see the structure carefully.
कुछ अजीब सा मैम स्ट्रक्चर इसका।
It takes hardly any time to draw, but अगर आप draw कर दोगे तो बहुत अच्छा impression जाएगा. See this is the structure of opioids. Basically, some opioids beta peptides होते हैं and some of them are alkaloids. सबसे पहले तो ये रिंग देखो, एरोमेटिक रिंग. पता है ना एरोमेटिक क्या होता है?
इसमें
Yes,
एरोमेटिक कंपाउंड्स
मैम ये
पता है।
मॉर्फिन एंड कोडीन मैम यही तो होते हैं अल्कलॉइड्स. Excuse me, ma'am.
Some of them, देखो अगर आप स्ट्रक्चरल फीचर्स देखोगे तो यू हैव एन एरोमेटिक रिंग एंड एक नाइट्रोजन एटम होता है. नाइट्रोजन एटम दिख रहा है आपको? नाइट्रोजन एटम
ऐसा CH3 उसको पला हुआ है मैम वाला।
ये ऐसे पॉइंट पे रहता है, ये चार्ज रहता है एट न्यूट्रल पीएच. दिस नाइट्रोजन एटम, दिस इज चार्ज एट व्हाट? न्यूट्रल पीएच. आपको बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल्स नहीं, थोड़ा सा बस याद रहे. बहुत सारे फ्यूज्ड रिंग्स होते हैं, मल्टीपल फ्यूज रिंग्स विच फॉर्म टी शेप्ड स्ट्रक्चर. कुछ आप देखोगे तो बहुत सारे टीज दिखाई देंगे इसके अंदर. What shape of a structure is this? This is a T-shaped structure.
T.
See once again, let me explain a little more to you. If you saw yesterday, कल हमारा जो 5 मार्क्स वाले क्वेश्चन थे उसमें कैसे क्वेश्चंस थे? डायग्राम्स वर गिवन एंड वो लेबल करने को दे दिया था या आइडेंटिफाई करने को. So I'm discussing the structure with you for the same reason. क्योंकि कुछ भी पता नहीं है आपकी बार. What is going to be the sample paper? How are they going to give the paper beta? So that is why मैंने कहा इसको जरा फिगर को अच्छे से देख लो ताकि अगर पहचानना पड़ेगा then at least you should be able to identify that this is it. Basic structure is this. बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जा रहे हैं. We have a nitrogen atom which is charged with neutral pH and many fused rings. What do you mean by fused rings?
बहुत
जुड़े
सारे
हुए हैं।
rings attached हैं.
Yes. And then मिलकर के they form at places which kind of a structure?
T-shaped.
T-shape.
Okay. Have you heard about the discovery of this? कभी सुना? किसकी discovery थी? कौन थे?
No ma'am.
Related to this? नहीं. Never mind. नहीं भी सुना तो. बेटा इसका केमिकल स्ट्रक्चर बस थोड़ा सा ये याद रखना है. आपको दिखाई दे रहा है जो बहुत इसकी प्रोमिनेंट चीज है. एक तो CH3. Which group is this?
Methyl group.
Yes. And
मैम
the other nitrogen. Yes, बेटा.
मैम अमन के घर में मैम फंक्शन है इसलिए वो कह रहा है कि क्लास नहीं अटेंड कर पाऊंगा मैं.
Okay. अमन बहुत सिंसियर हो गए. No doubt. Yesterday we had a meeting in the school. तो सब टीचर्स तारीफ भी कर रहे थे कि he has become very sincere. एक अरीबा and एक अमन. Everybody was appreciating, no doubt. And I'm happy to see Saransh and Utkarsh. They have become very sincere about classes. I don't know about other classes. लेकिन at least ये वाली क्लास तो I've seen आप लोग बहुत regularly attend करते हो. सबसे पहले join करते हैं. This is what I have seen. बेटा शुरू से करते होते ना तो जितने difficult chapters थे वो भी पढ़ लिए होते. चलिए. अच्छा जल्दी से बताओ. कॉमन स्ट्रक्चरल फीचर में सबसे पहले कौन सा रिंग दिखाई दे रहा है? एरोमेटिक रिंग. व्हाट इज द मेन फीचर दैट यू आर फाइंडिंग ओवर हियर?
Group.
एरोमेटिक रिंग.
Aromatic.
क्या होता है?
Aromatic ring.
क्या होता है एरोमेटिक? केमिस्ट्री पढ़ते हो बहुत सारी.
मैम बेंजीन
मैम
बेंजीन इनके ऊपर होता है.
मैम ये बेंजीन है.
रिंग सिस्टम है आपको दिख ही रहा होगा.
मैम क्लोज रिंग है और 6 पाई इलेक्ट्रॉन है.
देखो जो भी हाइड्रोकार्बन जिनमें बेंजीन होती है या रिलेटेड रिंग स्ट्रक्चर है, पाई बॉन्ड्स डीलोकलाइज्ड रहते हैं, ये सारे के सारे
Yes ma'am.
कैटेगरी में आ जाते हैं. चलिए यू विल बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई. बस ये याद रखना N T shaped structure and ये CH3 से पहचान सकते हो. Chemical structure of
And T-shape
morphine.
structure.
Yes, T-shaped structure. Now we come to the second category of drugs that are cannabinoids. What are they called? Cannabinoids. First category कौन सी थी?
Opioids.
Opioids.
Opioids. We are coming to cannabinoids. These are a group of chemicals which interact with the cannabinoid receptors in the brain. बेटा, opioid receptors I told you कहाँ पे होते हैं?
CNS and gastrointestinal.
CNS and a gastric tract.
So this also you need to be very careful when we are studying. And cannabinoid receptors, where are they found?
Brain.
In the brain. If we talk about natural morphine, we were getting it from the poppy plant, जिसका नाम क्या था?
Papaver.
Papaver somniferum.
Yes ma'am. Somniferum.
And this is, and कौन सा part मैंने कहा था जरूर याद रखना है with the name of the plant?
Latex.
Latex. Very good. अब यहाँ पे यही चीज में डिफरेंस आएगा. Yes. This is obtained from the inflorescence of the plant Cannabis sativa, not the latex. So after we are doing this, हम side by side compare करते रहेंगे कि what are the differences that we had. जल्दी से बताइए. पहले वाला जो था, that was obtained. उसके receptors कहाँ पे थे? Opioid receptors.
Gastric and
and
CNS.
gastrointestinal tract.
Yes. And what about the receptors of cannabinoids?
Brain.
Fine. And then that was plant. Which plant and which part?
Ma'am, latex
Ma'am,
and
Papaver
somniferum.
somniferum and latex part.
Here it is not latex, it is inflorescence. When we say inflorescence,
Cannabis sativa.
yes, stem, stalk, bracts, सारी चीजें जो है ये इसमें आ जाती हैं. Okay, inflorescence में. Inflorescence of which plant?
Cannabis
Cannabis
sativa.
sativa.
In the beginning, when I started the class, I told you source of drugs are mainly flowering plants. So we already done 2 plants, cannabis, sativa, and
And
bolo
ma'am,
bolo.
Poppyeva somniferum.
Yes. Next, beta, the hemp, flower tops, and the raisins of cannabis are used in various combinations for production of marijuana, hashish, charas, and ganja. देखो ये सारे के सारे बेटा कैनबिस से ही मिलते हैं ऑल द 4 डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज तो फिर ये अलग क्यों हो जाते हैं marijuana hashish charas ganja they we get it all from basically cannabis and hemp leaves flower tops and raisins तीन चीजों को हमने मिक्स करना है different ratios में can we have it quickly what is the first thing which is there
Marijuana, hashish,
Marijuana.
charas, ganja.
combination I am asking कौन सी
Ma'am,
तीन
combination, ma'am, leaves, raisin, and ma'am top.
देखो
Flower top and then leaf raisin.
हाँ बेसिकली अगर हम कैनबिस प्लांट की लीव्स की बात करें ना तो बहुत स्पेशल होती हैं बेटा इसमें बहुत सारा आयरन होता है जिंक होता है पोटेशियम मैग्नीशियम फाइबर फास्फोरस दे आर वेरी रिच इन मिनरल्स द हेम्प लीव्स द लीव्स ऑफ द कैनबिस प्लांट ठीक है जो ये रॉ लीव्स होती हैं बिल्कुल ये इसमें बहुत सारे पावरफुल एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स भी होते हैं और ये मतलब इनके ऊपर बहुत एक तरह से देखा जाए तो बहुत अच्छी होती हैं फॉर इफेक्ट्स ऑफ एंटी एजिंग It also protects against several diseases. This is a special quality about the leaves of cannabis plant. They contain a lot of iron, zinc, potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, and सबसे बड़ी बात ये इसमें बहुत सारे antioxidants होते हैं. Aging skin में they help a lot for anti-aging, and of course they protect you from diseases also. So if you see these hemp leaves are good. Then we come to flower tops. Hemp leaves समझ में आ गया? What are flower tops?
Ma'am, flower top, ma'am.
And
Plant
the
जो flower के
apical part.
Yes, ma'am.
Apical part. Okay, simple उसमें बताओ ताकि everybody gets it. Flower tops.
Ma'am, apical means सबसे ऊपर वाला.
Yes, सबसे ऊपर वाला. So दो चीजें हो गई बेटा. Hemp leaves, flower tops, and raisins of cannabis. What are raisins?
No, raisins, ma'am. The waste product जिनको होता है मेरे हिसाब से.
Yes, ma'am.
Raisin.
10th में पढ़ा ही होगा आपने है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Basically naturally occurring होते हैं. आजकल तो we get them artificial also. So these three things in different combinations. किसी में ये ज्यादा हो जाती है hemp leaves, किसी में raisins ज्यादा हो गए, ठीक है? कुछ में flat top parts ज्यादा ऐड हो गए तो अलग-अलग combinations बन जाते हैं हमारे. And then you get these different varieties from the same thing, cannabis, that is marijuana, hashish, charas, and ganja. These drugs are taken by inhalation and oral ingestion and affect the cardiovascular system of the body. Opioids may, see this, we are coming to this. This is going to affect which function of your body?
Cardiovascular.
Cardiovascular. And ये कैसे affect करता था? Depressant की तरह काम करता है. It slows down the body functions as it is a depressant. So if we talk about the function or effect of opioid in the body, it slows down the body function. That means it is acting as a depressant. This will go and directly affect which system? The cardiovascular system of the body. These days they are also being abused by some sport persons. I think ये आपने पढ़ा ही होगा sports persons using
Doping,
drugs.
doping.
हाँ फिर उनके ऊपर
Doping.
बैन लग जाता है ये सारी चीजें आप पढ़ते ही हो. Let's read very
Olympics में हम
quickly.
बहुत होती है.
Yes, let's read very quickly about cannabinoids. बहुत जल्दी से.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, let's have it very quickly. What are the 3 forms of drugs which we get from cannabis sativa?
Marijuana,
Ma'am,
charas,
hashish,
ganja.
morjan. Yes, ma'am.
marijuana hashish charas ganja
Marijuana.
Okay. What are the 3 things which are mixed in different combinations to
Flower
get these
top, ma'am,
varieties?
and leaves, raisin.
Leaves. Yes.
Raisin and flower top.
Okay. Which system of the body do they affect?
Cardiovascular.
Cardiovascular.
Yes, they affect the cardiovascular. Name the plant from which we get this.
The cannabis sativa.
Cannabis sativa is actually, चलो आप इतना डिटेल में मत जाओ इन चीजों के बारे में, let's forget it. इतना ही पढ़ लो बस. I don't want you to go into details about this. So what are the two kinds of drugs that we have done? आज अगर
Opioids and
विवेक कुमार ने
cannabinoids.
अब बात नहीं
Opioids
करी ना,
and cannabinoids.
टुडे लेटेस्ट टेस्ट विवेक कुमार वर्मा, ठीक है, मैं इसको एडमिट कर रही हूँ, 2-3 मिनट के बाद इससे बात करेंगे. अगर ये नहीं मिले ना तो आज मैं इन्हें बताऊंगी. बेटा बेसिकली कैनाबिनॉइड्स में बहुत सारी चीजें, डिस्टर्बेंस, सेंसरी एक्सपीरियंसेस, मोटर स्किल्स, बहुत सारी चीजों पे इस चीज का इफेक्ट आता है. कैनाबिनॉइड्स आर वेरी हार्मफुल फॉर द बॉडी. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर. ये तो बहुत इजी है, जल्दी से देखिए. OH ग्रुप दिख रहा है, दिख रहा है.
OH लगे मैम इसमें.
व्हाट इज द मेन डिफरेंस अगर पहचानने में आ जाए सारे स्ट्रक्चर्स?
नाइट्रोजन ग्रुप उसमें है, इसमें नहीं है.
नाइट्रोजन नहीं है.
और CH3 भी.
वेरी गुड. यस, दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि पहचानने को आ सकता है. अगर आपने कल वाला पेपर देखा होगा तो आप देखोगे कि कुछ भी आ सकता है. दे में गिव यू टू आइडेंटिफाई दिस, कि हाँ आइडेंटिफाई कर लो. क्या दिख रहा है इसमें मेन क्लियर डिफरेंस जो दिख रहा है? OH ग्रुप्स दिख रहे हैं.
एंड नाइट्रोजन नहीं है.
यस, दिख रहा है ना. नाइट्रोजन
Yes,
नहीं
ma'am.
है आपको इसमें, कहीं भी नहीं दिख रहा होगा. तो अगर आपको सिंपली एक स्ट्रक्चर दिखे जहाँ नाइट्रोजन है तो वो कौन सा स्ट्रक्चर है?
मैम वो ओपियोइड है.
नाइट्रोजन.
एंड खाली अगर OH दिखता है तो
मैम
Cannabinoid
cannabinoids है.
molecules.
कैनाबिनॉइड.
मैम इसमें
draw
C
नहीं-
डबल बॉन्ड O भी नहीं है.
हाँ, CH3 वाली चीज नहीं दिख रही होगी. बेटा आपको
मैम
ड्रॉ करना नहीं कर सीखना है. यू डोंट हैव टू ड्रॉ दिस. इट इज नॉट देयर इन द सिलेबस फॉर डायग्राम पार्ट, बट आइडेंटिफाई करने को आ सकता है. So don't waste your time learning to draw this, only that you should know how to identify this. Let's move on to the third one, coca alkaloid और cocaine. जल्दी से पढ़िए, coca alkaloid और cocaine. Only identification करनी है, draw नहीं करना है. Let's read quickly, coca alkaloid और cocaine.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, very quickly, let us do this. It is obtained from the coca plant, Erythroxylum coca. Pronounce this.
erythroxylum coca.
Erythroxylum
Erythroxylum
coca.
coca.
Erythroxylum
This is
coca.
native to South America. It is commonly called as coke or crack and is usually snorted. You know the difference of snorted. It interferes with the transport of dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter. Dopamine के बारे में क्या पता है?
मैम न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर है मैम. मैम नर्व
Neurotransmitter.
मतलब मैसेजेस को ले जाता है.
So you heard about dopamine?
Yes मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody's heard about dopamine, ना? Basically बेटा neurotransmitter हार्मोन है ये. It's a hormone and of course a neurotransmitter. ब्रेन एंड बॉडी में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शंस प्ले करता है ये. ठीक है, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारा ये केमिकल मैसेंजर. आपकी मेमोरी, अटेंशन, बॉडी मूवमेंट्स, बहुत सारी चीजों पे इसका इफेक्ट आता है. ये मूड, आपका जो भी है मूड एंड मेमोरी बेसिकली इज रिलेटेड टू डोपामिन. सो इट इंटरफियर्स विद द ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ डोपामिन. अब बेटा डोपामिन के काम में ये इंटरफियर करेगा, यानी आपकी मेमोरी, आपकी अटेंशन, आपकी बॉडी मूवमेंट्स, सब चीजों पे इफेक्ट आएगा. It stimulates the CNS and produces a sense of euphoria and excess of energy. Its excessive dosage causes hallucinations. Let me have this word first with you. What is euphoria?
स्टेट ऑफ मतलब एक्सेस में हैप्पीनेस या फिर एक्साइटमेंट.
Hi.
Yes, yes.
मैम मजा आ रहा है, जैसे
Including-
मजा टाइप का मैम, थोड़ा सा ऐसा मैम.
Basically, it is a sense of feeling of high energy or excitement, something like that. And what are hallucinations?
इमेजिन करना कोई चीज मैम, हेलुसिनेट करना मतलब कि मैम है नहीं दिख रही है.
देखो,
है.
जो चीज असली है नहीं, वो चीज आपको लगेगी कि आपको दिख रही है या आपको सुनाई दे रही है या आप उसकी स्मेल कर पा रहे हो या टेस्ट कर पा रहे हो. ये सारी फीलिंग जो होती है उसे कहते हैं हैलुसिनेशन. इट्स जस्ट अ परसेप्शन. आपको इमेजिनेशन है ये. आपको लगेगा you've seen something, you heard something, you've touched something, you've tasted या smelled something जो actually है ही नहीं है. That is what we call as hallucinations. Is it okay? याद रखिएगा, this word hallucination is related to cocaine. So very quickly, opioid का plant कौन सा था?
ओपियोइड का था मैम पावाएवा सेमनिफेरम.
Yes, it was Papaver somniferum. Cannabinoids का?
मैम कैनबिस सटावा.
Cannabis sativa.
Vivek Verma, good morning. Vivek Verma, good morning. Last time मैं बात कर रही हूँ विवेक वर्मा आपसे, वरना फिर मैं अब आपके पापा से ही बात करूंगी. विवेक गुड मॉर्निंग. चलिए कोई बात नहीं, पापा से ही बात
Ma'am, he is not there.
हाँ जी,
Ma'am, he is not there now.
हाँ कोई बात नहीं बेटा, और उनके पापा से ही बात करेंगे. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट थर्ड वन. व्हाट वाज द थर्ड वन? वेरी क्विकली, प्लांट क्या था?
एरिथ्रोजाइलम कोका.
Erythroxylum coca, which is a native of which place?
South America.
It interferes with which transmitter?
Dopamine.
Let's read about hallucinogens. Abhi, I told you what is hallucination. Now read about hallucinogens. These are obtained from plants like Atropa belladonna. Please pronounce Atropa belladonna.
एट्रोपा बैलेंडोना.
And Datura species. LSD. LSD full form is lysergic acid diethylamide. Please learn this. This is very important. Lysergic acid diethylamide. So hallucinogens are obtained from some plants like Datura species, and the other plant I told you was Atropa.
एट्रोपा बैलेंडोना.
Atropa belladonna. What is the full form of LCD?
Lysergic acid diethylamide.
Yes, you should know the full form of this. Now, this is the most powerful hallucinogen derived from the fungus Claviceps purpurea. The most powerful hallucinogen, LSD. सबसे ज़्यादा powerful hallucinogen is which one? LSD. These days, all these things are in news, so easy for you to understand. It is derived from a fungus. Name the fungus.
Claviceps.
Claviceps. These drugs have effect on the cerebrum purpurea. They have effect on cerebrum and sense organs, so they are known as psychedelic drugs. Why are hallucinogens known as psychedelic drugs? Because they have effect on cerebrum and sense organs. Yes. Which category of drugs are known as psychedelic drugs and why? Answer.
Ma'am, the drugs which affect on cerebrum and sense organs are called psychedelic.
Yes. So the most powerful hallucinogen is
LSD.
Full form?
Lysergic acid diethylamide.
Derived from which fungus?
Claviceps purpurea.
So they affect the feelings, emotions, thoughts. They are given to the patient suffering from mental illness like depression and insomnia. What is insomnia?
Ma'am, पढ़ा था.
Ma'am, I think state of fear, ma'am. Anything which
क्या होता है insomnia? नींद नहीं आती है जिन लोगों को? Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
जिन लोगों को नींद नहीं आती है, problems related to falling asleep, poor sleeping habits होती हैं, anxiety रहती है उनको हमेशा, नींद नहीं आती जिसके कारण such people are known as insomniac and this problem is known as insomnia.
Yes, ma'am.
So very quickly, we have done about hallucinogens also. So we have done about opioids, structure का difference पता है, cannabinoids, coca alkaloids or cocaine hallucinogens. Then the last one on this page is tobacco.
Tobacco.
This is obtained from tobacco plant and can be smoked, chewed or used as a snuff. What is a snuff?
Snuff means, ma'am, to add to something, I think so. It is
What
add
is
to
snuff?
something, ma'am. Add to something, ma'am, then, ma'am.
बेटा स्नफ क्या होता है? एक तरह का टबैको होता है जो स्मोकलेस टबैको होता है, जिसको नोज के थ्रू या फिर च्यूइंग के थ्रू माउथ में लोग अंदर लेते हैं, सूंघ लेते हैं या मुंह में डाल लेते हैं. इट्स अ फॉर्म ऑफ स्मोकलेस टबैको. ठीक है, ड्राई फॉर्म में आता है ये नॉर्मली. तो स्नफ क्या है? कुछ नहीं है. इट्स अ फॉर्म ऑफ स्मोकलेस टबैको ओनली. Tobacco has nicotine which stimulates the adrenal glands to release adrenaline and noradrenaline, increasing the blood pressure and heart rate. So how does nicotine help us? ये जो दोनों हार्मोन्स हैं इसको रिलीज करती है, एड्रेनलिन एंड नॉरएड्रेनलिन. ठीक है, इससे क्या चीज बढ़ जाती है?
BP.
BP, ma'am. Blood pressure and heart, ma'am.
यस,
Heart
और
rate.
बंदे को लगने लगता है कि मेरे अंदर बहुत एनर्जी आ गई है, हार्ट रेट बढ़ गया, ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ जाता है एंड पीपल फील गुड. See, we have done about opioids very quickly. The plant was latex of
Then latex of poppy plant.
Epiverum
plant.
and somnifera.
Pavera somnifera.
then I did cannabinoid and that was latex. Then cannabinoid, the source is inflorescence of.
Inflorescence of,
sativa.
ma'am, cannabis sativa.
Let's come to coca alkaloids. Name the plant, coca plant.
Rhizoxylum coca.
Ethoxylum coca.
Yes. Let's come to hallucinogen. Name the plants obtained from where?
Belladonna.
Atropa
Atropona
belladonna.
belladonna.
Which is the most powerful hallucinogen?
LSD.
LSD.